Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
Princess Lilibet Diana had been christened. Why would they use a title for their children that represents an institution?
Something isn't adding up, and now people are starting to notice in a big way. Piers Morgan has stepped straight into the spotlight again, and this time he's not holding back at all. He's raising serious questions about Archie and Lilibet that many thought would never be discussed publicly. And what he's revealing has people shocked, confused, and demanding answers fast. For a long time, everything around Meghan and Harry's children has been kept extremely private, almost too private. Photos are rare, appearances are even rarer, and every small detail seems tightly controlled. But now Piers is calling attention to the gaps, the inconsistencies, and the moments that just don't seem to line up. And here's where it gets even more intense. His claims are starting to gain traction. People online are digging deeper, comparing timelines, statements, and past interviews. And what they're finding is raising even more eyebrows. Meghan, who has always stayed composed in the public eye, is now reportedly feeling the pressure as these conversations grow louder. The spotlight is getting hotter. The questions are getting sharper. And the situation is becoming harder to ignore. So, what exactly did Piers Morgan reveal? And why is this suddenly blowing up right now? Let's break it all down. A question is now hanging in the air, and it's so simple that it's hard to ignore. You're never pregnant at all. Instead, the videos embolden conspiracy theorists. They're calling it Meg piracy, and the pair are being subjected to yet more merciless ridicule. This crisis won't die down until the irrefutable truth comes out. If Harry and Meghan continue using their Sussex titles in every deal, every pitch, every partnership, while at the same time presenting themselves as people hurt by that same royal system, then what is really going on here? Piers Morgan is not soft about it all. He calls it exactly what he believes it is: hypocrisy, and not just a little bit, but on a massive scale. According to him, those titles appear everywhere. Every public statement, every major streaming deal, every lifestyle brand move, it all carries the same label. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex is no longer just a title. It has become a full-on brand identity being used again and again. And that's where things start to feel even more intense, because now this isn't just about Harry and Meghan as individuals. The conversation is shifting towards something bigger. It's about how those same titles are being connected to their children, Archie and Lilibet, and what that could mean moving forward. The names Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet are starting to carry weight in public discussions. To some, it looks like an extension of that same brand. More titles could mean more attention, more public interest, and yes, potentially more opportunities tied to that royal connection. Piers Morgan didn't hold back when he pointed this out, making it clear he believes there is a financial angle behind it all. And when he said it so directly, it caught people's attention fast. Meghan playing games that resulted in people unnecessarily questioning things. Every toxicity thing is a result of them. What really has Piers Morgan speaking louder than ever right now is the shift in focus. This is no longer just about past decisions or media appearances. Now the spotlight is moving toward the future, specifically the role and identity of Archie and Lilibet within all of this. And this is where things take a serious turn. Because once children become part of a public narrative like this, people start asking deeper questions. What do these titles actually mean for them? How will it shape their lives as they grow up? And is it fair for them to be pulled into such a high-profile situation so early? Piers Morgan keeps circling back to one key moment, the Oprah interview. He has described it as one of the most damaging interviews ever directed at the British royal family. That conversation changed everything. It shifted public opinion, created division, and opened the door to ongoing debates that are still happening today. Now, in his view, the current situation connects directly back to that moment. The claims, the emotions, the global reaction, it all set the stage for where things stand now. And with Archie and Lilibet being brought more into the conversation, the stakes feel even higher. The questions are getting sharper, the opinions are getting stronger, and the entire situation is becoming harder to ignore. What started as a personal story has now grown into a much bigger discussion about identity, image, and what these royal titles really represent in today's world. During that explosive interview, Meghan told the world that Archie had been denied a royal title because of his skin-colored IT was a powerful claim and it instantly grabbed global attention. They're legally covering their backs. There are just too many unknowns. And then, of course, we have that the doctor that allegedly delivered Lily put her practice 2 weeks after giving birth to Lily or delivering Lily. That sentence there's missing. She suggested the palace made a decision about her unborn child based on race. And that moment sent shockwaves everywhere. Piers Morgan reacted immediately, and he did not hold back, that he pushed back hard, arguing that the claim did not match how royal rules actually work. According to long-standing guidelines set out years ago under King George V, great-grandchildren of a monarch are not automatically given prince or princess titles. That rule applies across the board. No exceptions, no special targeting. Archie at that time simply did not fall under that rule yet. Morgan has repeatedly called that statement misleading, stressing that it was shared with millions of viewers while the royal institution stayed silent. And that silence made the situation even more intense because there was no direct response to balance the claim in real time. Piers Morgan has been pointing toward this outcome for months, and now he's doubling down. He keeps drawing comparisons to past royal situations, especially involving Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. In his view, those cases showed what can happen when people stay closely tied to the royal name, while also creating ongoing controversy around it. His argument is direct and hard to ignore. He suggests that using the royal label while stepping away from royal responsibilities creates tension that cannot last forever. Over time, that gap becomes harder for the institution to manage, especially when public attention keeps growing. Morgan also points to what he sees as shifting momentum around Harry and Meghan's business ventures. He claims their major deals are not as strong as they once were, with fewer big announcements and changing levels of public interest. Whether people agree or not, that perception is becoming part of the wider discussion. And this is where the stakes rise even higher. A couple still strongly connected to the royal brand while building independent projects creates a complicated balance. From Morgan's perspective, that combination puts pressure on the system, especially if the brand continues to be used in high-visibility ways. What makes this even more interesting is how William is reportedly approaching it. The idea, according to these reports, is not about targeting one specific pair. Instead, it's being framed as a broader adjustment that could apply across the board. Names like Beatrice and Eugenie are also being mentioned in the same breath, suggesting a wider reset rather than a personal decision. That detail changes everything because it shifts the narrative. This would not be about emotion or reaction. It would be about structure and consistency. A move designed to redefine how titles are used moving forward rather than focusing on one situation alone. Piers Morgan has been very clear on this point. He believes this is about setting a firm line for the future of the monarchy. If titles are going to carry weight, then, in his view, they must come with clear expectations and boundaries. Right now, nothing has been officially confirmed, but the conversation is getting louder and more detailed. The possibility of such a major shift is no longer sitting in the background. It's front and center, with more people watching closely to see what happens next. If you're not a full-time working royal, you do not need a royal title. That's the line Piers Morgan keeps repeating, and it's hitting harder as this story grows. He points to Zara Tindall as a clear example. No title, no drama, just a successful and respected life built on her own terms. And then the focus shifts straight back to Archie and Lilibet, children growing up in California, far from any working royal role or structure. That comparison is what's fueling the debate right now. If others connected to the royal family can live without titles, then why should this situation be any different? It's a question more people are starting to ask, and it's not going away anytime soon. But here's where things take an even more dramatic turn. Reports are now claiming that Meghan has privately pushed back hard against the idea of any titles being removed. According to those reports, she has made it clear she would not accept that outcome and could even consider legal action to fight it. Piers Morgan's response to that is exactly as sharp as you'd expect. He questions the entire idea. asking what legal path could even exist in a situation like this. The titles come from the monarchy itself, and that means the authority behind them sits entirely with the crown. His point is simple. There isn't a court in the United States or the United Kingdom that can step in and force a reversal of that kind of decision. That's what makes this claim stand out so much. The idea of a legal battle over royal titles sounds dramatic,